Hurry up, driver, give me 2 on the trip. My wife's going to the store for to draw some script. Lord, Lord, got them cold loading blues.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Labor Day. Welcome to Marmet for the Courage in the Hollers Monument Dedication and Unveiling event. My name is Kenzie New Walker, and I work for the West Virginia Mine Wars Museum as Executive Director, and I'm going to MC the event this evening. So first up to speak, we've got BJ Talbert from the Marmet Town Council.
Welcome you to the unveiling of the Blair Mountain Monument here in Marmet. We are absolutely thrilled that everyone, and Kenzie and everyone, got with us to do this here. It's an honor.
Thank you, BJ. BJ's been to a lot of meetings to make this monument happen. It's so good to be in Marmet. We are at the place of the beginning of the most significant labor rebellion in American history. 101 years ago, Unionist coal miners gathered by the thousands. Together, they tied red bandanas around their necks, formed a multiracial, multilingual redneck army, and began marching towards Mingo County. The Mine Wars Museum and its partners have been co-creating permanent monuments and history place markers in the rural landscape where this significant event took place, honoring the contributions Unionist miners made not only to West Virginia history, but to American history. Following in the footsteps of the Redneck Army, we are taking the Mine Wars Museum beyond its 4 walls in Matewan and working hand in hand with communities and descendants to create new sites of commemoration. This project is launching in 2 communities this Labor Day weekend, here in Marmet and also in Clothier. Many of you know, participated, or supported the Mine Wars Museum's efforts last year to commemorate and celebrate the Battle of Blair Mountain Centennial, or as many of you know it, Blair 100. The region was full with activities including new exhibits, walking tours, concerts, and even the recreation of the miners' 50-mile march, which the UMWA started right here where we are today. Air friend and core team member for both Blair 100 and Courage, Kyle Wormack, led a team of volunteers to develop a pop-up interpretive trail that was placed along the marching route. One of those temporary exhibits was placed right out here in Marmet. We heard from a lot of people after the Centennial what it meant to them to be a part of it, how it could drive the museum's work forward, and many of them came to us and said, "Make the markers permanent." Shortly after Blair 100 ended, the museum received news that we were one of 10 in the entire country to be awarded a grant from Monument Lab to create a commemorative project as part of their nationwide regeneration cohort. AIR Project is the only project rooted in Appalachia and celebrating organized labor, both past and present. I'd like to thank Monument Lab for their support, as well as the West Virginia Humanities Council and our Mine Wars Museum membership, all of which believed in us and helped us lift this effort off the ground. And one thing's for certain about the Mine Wars Museum: when we launch a new project, whether it's a new exhibit, an anniversary campaign, or monuments, we never go it alone. Like the miners who met in Marmet 100 years ago, we know we are stronger together when we have people in solidarity with us. I want to say thanks to those of you who attended community meetings, many of whom didn't miss a single one, lending your time and sharing your stories and your ideas. I'd also like to say thank you to our core team members, a lot of which who are here today: Aaron Bates, Brian Lacey, Terry Steele, Bobby Starnes, Kyle Wormack, Sean Slifer, and Kirsten Newton. It was only 7 months ago that the Mine Wars Museum and our core team were welcomed into the community center we're all in today. We didn't have this many people at the meetings, though. We entered the doors with a blank slate, not knowing who would show up or what we'd build together. And today, we will unveil our work. These monuments and educational place markers made of Pittsburgh steel by union workers, steel that is likely cut from West Virginia coal. I couldn't be prouder of this project, where it's been and where it's going. And if you believe in this history and the power of unions like we do, which if you showed up today, I believe you do, I am inviting you to join the West Virginia Mine Workers Museum in this mission. Today is just the beginning of what's to come. The museum is launching our annual fundraising campaign this weekend and hopes to raise $40,000 to fund the next stage of our work, where we will continue building out the Miners' March route as a labor history trail. And every dollar raised is another step on the march. Over the coming years, we're going to continue to illuminate the struggles and sacrifices of these Appalachian workers along the Miners' Marching route, and one day, we will get to Blair Mountain itself. These markers and monuments will pay homage to the unionist miners who paved the way for labor rights we are celebrating today and benefits we enjoy year-round. In closing, this project involved many people who shared rooms and conversations many times over the past few months, recalling and taking root in an American legacy not only worth remembering, but worth celebrating. And today, you're going to hear from only some of them. Voices from those who participated in the planning process, local, regional, and international UMWA leaders. But for now, I'm excited to introduce my friend and our next speaker, John Alderson, who is president of UMWA Local 6426.
I would like to thank everyone for coming out to this special occasion today. I would like to thank Mackenzie and her staff at the West Virginia Mining Wars Museum for getting this presentation started. I would like to also thank the town of Marmet for allowing us to use their facilities to have our meetings. I hope and pray that every union coal miner would make a special place in their heart for this monument. Without their sacrifices, and some gave their lives, we would not have what we have today. As a coal miner for 33 years, I would like to personally thank all those who sacrificed and dedication that they gave us for this union today. And with that being said, I would like to say God bless coal miners, God bless the 100 mine workers, and God bless our president, Cecil Roberts. Thank you.
Next up, we've got Brian Lacey, who is a core team member and also UMWA Vice President of District 17.
Welcome to District 17, everyone. I would like to thank all the local unions from UMWA District 17 that participated in the community meetings and the community members that came to help put this project together. And I think once you see what's out here today, you'll be truly amazed. I'd also like to thank the Mine Wars Museum and Mackenzie and her team. They deserve a big round of applause for the work that they do. You know, there's not a whole lot taught in our school systems about the struggles that labor went through early on, including the Battle of Blair Mountain and the March. So now we'll have a place that hopefully people can go and they can learn about the miners, the leaders of the March, and the UMWA and its history. I get the privilege to introduce a hero of mine. He has been a fierce defender of workers' rights. He has testified many times on Capitol Hill on many topics from black loan to bankruptcy reform. He has negotiated some of the best contracts this union has ever seen. He led us through a string of coal company bankruptcies and helped secure the pensions and health care of over 100,000 of our UMWA members. He works tirelessly and travels this country on behalf of the UMWA members. It's my privilege and my honor to introduce the greatest labor leader in this country today, UMWA President Cecil Roberts.
Brian Lacey got just a tad carried away there. There's others that might argue about who the greatest labor leader in the country is at this point in time. But here in West Virginia, we kind of are partial to our people from West Virginia, right? So I just want to say thank you to Brian Lacey for serving on this, and Aaron Bates from our office in Washington, D.C. I want to point out that we have another international vice president with us today, Donnie Sams, right here in the Marmet, Chesapeake area. I want to start out by just saying a few words about Mackenzie. This young woman, indeed, Mother Jones would love her. I'm telling you, she is a fierce advocate for people who work for a living, coal miners in particular. She has gone from one end of this state, indeed the country, talking about the museum and what it means to working people. And she's turned that museum into a force for working people in the state of West Virginia and indeed the entire nation. And we are so blessed that she is leading this. And this wouldn't have happened, in my opinion, without her and the museum. We stood up against the bankruptcy courts and won. We stood up against the coal companies and we retained our health care in 2017. 22,600 people in this country have health care today because they belong to a union. And then we kept fighting and did it in 2019. 100,000 coal miners who were retired. Donna Kay's mother gets health care from the funds. There's people in here right now getting health care from the funds, not because the coal companies wanted you to have it, because the union fought for it. If you've got good health care, there's a chance the union got it for you. God bless all of you.
I don't care what they say, no one can hardly follow up with Cecil Roberts. Let's give him another hand, please. All right, y'all, it's about that time. We're gonna make our way outside and unveil this monument for everyone to see. I want the folks who were actually in the monument or came to a community planning meeting to get up front with us. All right, can y'all hear me? Yes. Okay. So as we talked about, this monument was community-driven, community-inspired, and we've got several people here that participated in these meetings. If you were one of those people, please raise your hand so people can see you. This wouldn't have happened without each and every one of you. I also want to recognize we've got James Goltz here with us, who is a board member of the Mother Jones Museum in Mount Olive, and we actually had one of their members, Loretta Williams, pose for this monument. Without further ado, we've got guys here ready to unveil. Should we count us down? Can we start from 5? Yeah. All right, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. If the folks that posed would come up for a photograph in front of their silhouettes, we would love
I'm
that.
just an old coal miner and I labor for my bread. This story in my memory I've here told. For the sake of wife and baby, how a miner risks his life for the price of just a little lump of coal. Don't forget me, little darling, when they lay me down to rest. Tell my brothers all these loving words I say.